welcome to another classic guitar video. Tonight's guitar is going to be a 2010 Dean MLX. I've had this guitar for quite a while. I bought it from a friend of mine, similar to that Jackson. I think I bought it the same day I bought that Jackson from him for about 2.5 years ago. Bought it, set it aside, and forgot about it. I found it the other day when I found the Jackson, and we're going to go ahead and get started with it. Again, it's a Dean 2010 Dean MLX, and here it is. Very wacky shape, if you will, guitar. It's quite a long piece of wood. I mean, if you measure it from there to there, it's quite a big, huge, stout piece of wood. It's in sunburst. It's 3 pieces of wood. You have the edge piece, a center piece, and then the other edge piece. It's rosewood fretboard with mother of pearl. With abalone inlays. Standard tailpiece. Dean humbucker pickups, 3-way switch, volume, tone, and tone, and the jack here. So yeah, it's a pretty cool piece. It's in pretty good shape. The wood is quite pretty on it. It's not a particularly valuable guitar, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I actually have quite a few Dean MLXs. If you go back in some of my other videos, I have one that's just looks like just a brown mahogany one, and then I have a black one. Then I have a metallic silver one. It's actually metal flake, it's not metallic. And I have several others, so I really like these Dean MLs and MLXs. They're pretty cool. I like them. And here's the headstock. It's got that, I know it's upside down, but it has that nice V, oops, sorry about that, V headstock to match the, body style. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool piece. I like this. Let's just go ahead and do my my usual thing to it, and yeah, pretty neat. A little out of tune, but we're doing a test play and go from there. I need to check my string because yeah, that's better. Okay. All right. Give it a quick test play. No issues. It's way out of the tune and out of intonation and out of everything, so it's pretty nice. Okay, she plays. I'm not going to bother tuning it because I'm going to detune it here in about 20 seconds, so maybe a little longer than that, but I don't need to be tuning it. We know it plays and works, so that's the main issue. That's the main thing. So yeah, here it is in all its glory. Dean MLX from 2010. So it's already going to be 9 years old. It looks pretty good. There's no body damage. The frets and fretboard is really dirty. But there's no body damage, there's no nicks, there's no scratches, there's no gouges. So it's pretty cool. I'll get decent money for this. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start. Go ahead and start with this bad boy. I'll go ahead and show you how I usually start all my guitars the same way. I'll start by tightening the tuners. I like my tuners nice and tight. It helps to keep the guitar in tune. So it really helps. Nice tight, not overly tight, just tight. Then you flip it over, do the other tuners. And they're Grover tuners, so they're real good quality tuners. You want to be careful not to strip the hex of the Phillips screw in these. Otherwise you'll have to replace it if you strip it out. So you want to use a nice, good quality, sharp screwdriver in doing so. Nice, good, sharp screwdriver. Nice tight tuners go a long way in keeping your guitar in tune. Most people think, yeah, no, how could that have anything to do with keeping your guitar in tune? You'd be amazed. You really would be amazed. Definitely be amazed. You would be in shock and awe at how much keeping that in tune with tight tuners goes a long way. It really does. I'll go ahead and take the covers off and check them, as I always do, and take pictures. Just for the fun of it. It's got a Gibson style 3-way switch in it. I can't believe I forgot about this guitar. I opened up the case and I just about had a canary. I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot I even owned this guitar. I was just like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. I was just like, wow, I can't believe forgot I even owned this. I have to, these are in there pretty tight. I'm gonna have to. The cover is in there tight. Maybe I won't be able to get the cover out. I don't know. Cover's in there pretty tight. Might have to use a very small screwdriver to kind of pry it out a little bit. You know? Almost. Whoa, dang. And I know which way it went on, so that's good. be on there really tight at all. So there we have it. It's your standard 3-way switch. It's not a Gibson switch, but it's a Gibson style switch. So I'll just go ahead and take a quick picture of that because I can. You guys know how much I love to take pictures, so just take a quickie picky of it, and then put the switch cover back on. And we'll take the electronics cover off, inspect that, and I just dropped the screw. Screw. Oh, mercy. Oh, mercy. And I can't find it, so I have to very carefully stand up, get my flashlight. Find the screw. Oh, there it is. Helps to have a nice bright flashlight like this. It really does. Go ahead and put the camera back where it was so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh. This time don't drop the screw. So yeah, I completely forgot I even had this guitar. I've got so many Dean MLXs that I forgot about this one. So much so that I usually within a few days of getting a guitar I will do my thing to it like I'm doing right now. So I've had this for like 2.5 years, and I bought it and then literally didn't touch it after I bought it. So, oop, careful. Ooh, that cover's tight too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that screwdriver back out again. So I'll pry it out. Pry it out very carefully. There we go. And then it's shielded in the back, which means it's just foil tape. So it is shielded. That means it's shielded. And shielding it just keeps it shielded from other electrical interference, noise from motors, and things like that. And it's got a signature in it. It says Mr. Yang, Y-A-N-G. Usually the person that makes the guitar or builds the guitar will put their signature in it. With Deans, a lot of Deans like that. I noticed that. So that's pretty cool. I'll take a picture of that. And it's got standard 250K pots with 47 ultra-farad capacitors. So that's pretty cool.
There's a non-prescription formula that's going to reduce your frequent bathroom trips. Why wouldn't you try it? I was using the bathroom more often. I would wake up at night. I had to go 2 or 3 times. I thought it would be this way for the rest of my life. I was super beta prostate. I could finally sleep.
Oh, come on.
I can make it through watching movies, sports, and playing with my grandchildren. Don't ignore your
Okay, why isn't it taking a picture? My thing's not full. My card isn't full. There we go. Oop, that's not the way I want it. That's too sideways. I need to get more on top of it. There we go. Okay, so inspection is good. All the electronics are good. There's no dust bunnies or anything in there, so I'll just go ahead and put the cover back.
Each of these food boxes represents the gift of life for people here in Israel who are in desperate need.
And we'll get get this guitar all shiny and going. And then I'll decide tomorrow if I want to keep it or sell it. Right now, I don't know. We will just have to see. Okay, there we have it. Everything is back up and tight. So that's pretty good. We'll tighten up the jack.
Many of these people are ill, they're sick, they're alone. They don't have the money to afford things that many of us, most of us,
Excuse me.
by answering, please don't. Go to your phone and tell us that you stand with Israel at her time.
Okay, that's tight. We'll take the knobs off. We'll tighten these.
To help a family in need in Israel. Thank you, and God bless you for your support. It won't be long before another alien sends you here and try to invade sick bay.
And we'll tighten the pickup bezels.
You've ruptured your dorsal extensor and bruised your rib. I'm going to have to perform minor surgery. Lie on your side and try to remain perfectly still. Tell me what's happened. Voyager has been infected by a macrovirus. A macrovirus? A form of life I've never encountered or even imagined. What about who? Captain, I promise I will tell you exactly what happened if you just lie still. Shortly after you left for the Tac-Tac homeworld, we received a distress call from a nearby mining colony, a race called the Garons. They were experiencing what appeared to be a minor viral outbreak.
Fever. Disorientation. I think it's some kind of virus. Nothing serious, but if we don't stop it now, we'll be forced to shut down the operation.
Okay. I'll tighten the, adjust the pickup pulls.
For the specific virus. I'd like to beam down to the mining colony and examine a few of the infected. An away mission. I'm the only member of this crew who can successfully enter a contaminated environment without risk. Besides, I'm looking for
The slot on the screwdriver is a little bit too wide.
It'll take us about 3 hours to reach you.
Thank you, Commander. I don't think
Excuse me.
we'll be going anywhere.
Prepare to download my program into the autonomous emitter. Yes, Doctor.
They're not responding to our hails.
Life signs. There's a lot of bioelectric interference. I can't get a clear reading.
Perhaps their condition is more serious than they thought. I better get down there.
Doctor, don't forget, you're not invulnerable. If anything happens to that portable emitter, your program could be lost.
Don't worry, Commander. I've been studying the Starfleet guidelines for OA team members.
I almost stripped that one.
Medical emergency on alien terrain. It is recommended that we keep an open contact.
Almost.
You heard the man?
Channel open.
A piece of wax there from the pickup.
OA team to Voyager. Transport was successful and my portable emitter is working perfectly. I am scanning the mine shaft and proceeding on vector 147. Ambient temperature is 16 degrees Celsius. Cavern illumination is minimal, but shouldn't pose a problem for my optical sensors. The cave walls are comprised of granite with a mixture of pyroclastic
Doctor,
inclusions.
I appreciate your attention to detail, but we don't need that much information. Let us know when you found the miners.
No, very well. Stand by then.
Yeah, all pickups have their wax hot wax dipped, and when you turn the pickup pole height adjustment, if it's never been turned before, you'll get a little bit of the wax coming out. So you just kind of pick it up carefully. You don't want to smear it, otherwise you'll smear it all over the face of the pickup, and then that'll be hard to clean off. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so we're good on that. Now to adjust the
appears to be a microscopic version of the virus. You mean the virus has grown? Yes, by a factor of billions. The virus absorbed the miner's growth hormones into its protein structure and used them to increase its own mass and dimensions. In essence, the virus has found a way to leave the microscopic world and enter the macroscopic world, our world. It's a remarkable evolutionary development.
a little bit more. Okay, now I can detune it and take the truss rod cover off and adjust the truss rod. I'll adjust these first. Oop. Sometimes they use different sizes and you have to adjust accordingly, you know. Sometimes you have to hold the pot in place, otherwise you'll turn the pot with the nut. So you just turn the pot volume down or counterclockwise and then tighten it and then turn it back up. You just put a little opposite pressure of it, a little bit, because you don't want to bust the tangs off of the pot. Then you'll have to replace the entire pot. And I don't want to do that. And I have to go get my battery charger because my charger's getting low, so I'll be right back.
Waiting to Voyager. One to beam up. Out through the bridge. Checking the biofilters. It appears several viral organisms were beamed up as well.
Let me charge it.
Filters isolated.
There we go. Now we're charging.
Purging is complete.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's go ahead and detune it.
In a few seconds, it took me to purge the filters.
Detune it.
Had already migrated into the transporter buffer.
And,
Creating a synthetic antigen
yeah,
that
we'll
will
detune
give
it.
the virus the ability to replicate. But I haven't quite figured out how to restore the infected cells to their original condition. As for the larger versions of the viruses, what I've termed the macrovirus, I would suggest a fly swatter. How long before the antigen's ready? I'd say another 12 hours. That gives us time to rendezvous with the captain. We'll do this after she's aboard. Commander, I'd like to apologize for my overzealous behavior on the away mission.
Compassion is nothing to be sorry about, Doctor. It won't be the last time you're faced with a moral dilemma in the field. But if it makes you feel any better, your performance was exemplary.
I told you I'd understand. Yes. You did. We continued working on the antigen. Unfortunately, the macrovirus was working faster. It had already moved from the transporter buffer into an adjacent system.
Okay. We're all detuned. Detuna.
What's the emergency?
And, oh, take the strings off the fretboard, take a picture, and then we'll go ahead and do the fretboard. Oh, it is really, take my fingers and drag it across it, it's just like, really drags. It's a drag that it drags. It's a real drag. It's a real drag that it drags, you know. Yeah, I love these Dean MLs and MLXs. There's two different versions. I have both. I really like them because you can pick them up relatively cheap, and they're a pretty decent guitar, you know. They just are. I think I paid $100 for this one. So I didn't pay a whole heck of a lot for it. So and that's pretty good. When you pay $100 for something. Yeah, I can't move the... Normally I like to move these switches so when they switch, they don't switch this way, they switch this way. So that way when you switch back, it's the back pickup. In the middle, it's both pickups, and the front, it's front pickup. But it's not allowing me to turn it because the wires are so tight behind. When you turn it, you're taking the wires with you, and there's not enough room. See, I'm trying to move it, and it won't move. So unfortunately, I'll tighten it back up, and that'll be it on this.
According to the World Health Organization's research on cancer, the active ingredient in the weed killer Roundup, glyphosate,
So the switch is nice and tight now. Whew, that fretboard is dirty. Let's go ahead and take that truss rod cover off while I'm thinking about it. And adjust the truss rod. I can't believe I forgot about this guitar. I just can't believe it. I just bought it and literally put it away the day I bought it. Haven't touched it since. I shouldn't do that. I know better to do that. Normally I don't do that, but every once in a while one gets away from me. So it happens. What can I say? It happens. Let's test that truss rod. See what it's doing. Okay, make sure it's in. And just give it a slight twist one way or the other. It's pretty good, so I'm not going to mess with it. It doesn't need messing with. And we'll go ahead and take a picture of the frets and fretboard.
No, just the one.
Okay. Get my drill out.
Surrounding tissue will be sensitive for a few days.
It's getting warmer in here.
We'll polish this bad boy up. We'll give it a really good polish because it's really extra dirty.
I spent the past few hours perfecting the antigen, but I haven't tested it on a live subject.
Looks like I'll have to be your guinea pig, Doctor. The crew.
Here we go.
I believe the larger number of viruses are an instinct to assemble their host population.
Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Exposed to the infected.
sure. I know it doesn't may not look like a workout, but you have to bear down some pressure on that drill.
I just saw 2 macroviruses in the snack.
Whoa. Good shoulder workout. Okay. One more time, the opposite direction again. You see how dirty this wheel is. I take these wheels off periodically. I unscrew them from the shaft and throw them in the washing machine when I'm doing rags and stuff. And then, you know, then I can continue to use them and not, you know, because otherwise you only get about 5 uses out of this and you got to throw it away. But I wash it and use it again. I've actually washed this one about 4 times, I think. And this is just a Harbor Freight one, so it's a cheapie. It comes in a kit like this. Or you get the 2 buffing compounds, but I don't use those because those are for higher metals. Okay. Oop, put my drill away. Plug it back in so it's charging for tomorrow. And refold my rag. Now this is not a clean rag. I used this one on the previous guitar video, the Jackson Professional JTX, but it's still clean, so. Now I'll run across this about 12 times, and you'll see the difference. You'll see what it's doing. Here we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at that. Here's the other side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now most people would just do that and call it done. But I unfold it, I do the other side, take my thumbs, go in like this, and then I go in between each fret. You guys have seen me do that many, many times before. You get the excess polish and other stuff, you know. So that helps. It takes a little longer, but it gets the job better done. And then I'll inspect it and see if I'll have to go through this a second time, because this fretboard is really extraordinarily dirty. It's not a new guitar, it's from 2010. It's been lightly used. It hasn't been heavily used, but I guess the person played his guitar with really dirty hands, so Plus the guitar fretboard got dirty. Frets and fretboard got dirty. So.
The original series, 6 nights a week at 8/7 Central. Part of all Star Trek, only on H&I.
So we'll get this all prettied up here pretty soon here.
Question is, how do we cure the rest of the crew? This antigen, can it be distributed in a gaseous form?
For absorption by the respiratory system, I've already considered dispensing it through environmental controls, but they're offline, and I have limited engineering expertise.
Leave it to me. All we have to do is get to environmental control on Deck 12.
Easier said than done. We'll run into the same problem I faced when I tried to get to the missile.
Not if I can help it. Prepare 2 canisters of antigen. We'll split up and take different routes to environmental control.
Yeah, this is going to take me a while to do. It's not clean at all.
Set your tricorder to emit a thermal scattering signal. It will make it more difficult to target you. Ready when you are.
It's going to turn out nice when it's done. I'll tell you that much.
Take checkmate tube 11. What's wrong?
I've been studying the ship's infrastructure, and I'm familiar with most of it, but how do I get there from here?
Checkmate tube 11. Take a left to section 51. Go straight down past the captive.
Need a piece of candy or something. I'm losing energy here really fast. Have to go get me a piece of candy or something. As I am losing steam really fast. I've already had almost a 14-hour day today, so 14 hours of work, that is. And then 2 hours of play. I played for 2 hours. I'm running my remote control cars in my back lot. I have a track, my own RC car track. It's 150 foot by 150 foot. So I ran RC cars back there because it rained last night, so the conditions were really good to run car. So I busted the car out and ran with my brother. We ran for a couple hours. So.
Stay put, Doctor. I'm close to environmental control.
Oh man.
Changing with the doctor. I've got the environmental controls back online.
Set the dispersal dose to 1 part per thousand. What's going on?
I'm not sure. I think someone's firing at Voyager. Use the shuttle sensors to find out what's happening and patch the data to me.
My captain.
It's the tank. Doctor, open a channel and hail their captain.
Stand by.
Consul, this is Captain Janeway. Why are you firing at us?
The Garrett mining colony infected. We've purified them. Your distress call received. Voyager infected. We are purifying you.
Purifying and trying to destroy us.
No truth. No cure for the virus. Voyager's existence is a threat. Your illness, our apologies.
Wait. We've developed a cure. Your torpedoes just stopped us from getting into our crew and putting an end to this.
Cure?
Yes, a synthetic antigen. We've tested it and it works. I can prove it to you. And I'd be willing to share the antigen with your people, but first you've got to stop attacking my ship. Give me a chance to save my crew.
A chance. 1 hour.
Doctor, we've got a problem. That last torpedo just...
My back is killing me. I mean, killing me.
The only systems we still have access to are the ones with independent power sources. Shuttlecraft, life support, the holodeck. Doctor,
Come on, we're almost done.
viruses are attracted to infrared signatures. Right now, you and I are the only targets left on board. What if we gave them something new to sink their teeth into?
What are you suggesting?
Excuse me.
Doctor, it seems to be working. I've programmed the home characters to react to the viruses. We don't have much time. Grab your highflow spray and get to the crew. You've got to steer past to the mess hall and both cargo bays.
Acknowledged.
Oh lordy, almost done.
An antigen bomb. And all I have to do is drop it.
Oh, last one. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Oh, whew, my back is killing me. I'll be right back. No, I won't be right back. Oh, oh, my back. My back, my back, my back. Whew. Yeah, you guys know I got a really, really bad back. Yeah, I got a really bad back. It's just one of those things. Some of these I'm gonna have to go over twice because they're really, really dirty. Man, the guy before me that played this was just really sweaty, dirty hands. Yuck.
Doctor to Captain Janeway.
The guy I bought it from, my friend Kevin, he bought it and then sold it to me like 3 days later because he wanted to make a little profit off of it. So I think he paid like $80 for it, and then I gave him $100 for it. So yeah, we do that a lot. Sometimes he'll buy a guitar and then he'll email me and say, "Hey, you want this?" And I'll be like, "I'll sell it for $20 more than I paid for it, or $50 more than I paid for it." More times than not, I'll just do it.
Next on H&I, a Star Trek Enterprise, followed by NYPD Blue, then Xeno Warrior Princess, right here on H&I.
Oh man, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. I don't want to go over it a second time, a second run with the drill. I could, but I think it would only improve it by about 5 or 10 more %. So it's okay. It's pretty good. It's 100 times better than it was 10 minutes ago. That's for sure. Okay. Take my after picture here.
Beginner to athlete and adapt with personalized workouts as unique as your fingerprint and find the right fit for you. I am Max. Only on Flex Max Trainer.
Oops.
Personalized fitness is
I just moved the nut.
where holiday
okay.
deals are happening now.
The nuts on these are free floating. They're not like glued in or anything really. So it's okay. Whew, man.
Good morning, Captain. Here's an update on repairs.
How's the crew over?
They're fine. Although the doctor tells me a few people are still reporting post-virus.
I don't like that picture.
I'm not surprised. Inform the crew that I'm granting extended R&R for all personnel and work out the shift rotation.
Hi, Captain. Speaking of R&R, a few of us are skiing on the holodeck. The Qatar glaciers. Fresh air, good workout. Care to join us?
No, thank you, but have fun.
Oh yeah.
Not your cup of tea.
Much better. Take another picture because I don't know if I don't want
I've had enough
picture.
to work out for the time being.
Understood.
Nope, I don't like that picture either. For some reason it's a little hard to take a picture of this. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Oh, for some reason that was really difficult to take a picture of. I don't know why. Oh. Whew. Yeah, it's 100 times better than it was, that's for sure. Now I run my finger across it and I don't feel any drag. So that's good. I got an hour left. I should be able to finish this in an hour. Excuse me. So, go ahead and continue on. You know? Whoops. I get too much polish on the end of my...
To Klingons and every character in between. This is H&I.
Oh, I gotta take the bridge off. And then take the adjusters off. I don't think this will be a 2-night project. I think I'll be able to finish here in an hour. Because I don't have a floating bridge to adjust or anything. And so I think my adjustments will go pretty fast. Pretty fast. Not that I'm in a huge flaming rush or anything, but I chose this guitar over the new in the box Epiphone only because I remembered it at the last second. So I was like, oh yeah, I got this guitar, I gotta friggin' get it out and do it. So I was like, okay. Get it out and finish it, and she's pretty. She's a pretty one. She's pretty. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good here. And do the tops of the pickups like this. Up and down and then crosswise. And crosswise again. Crosswise. And crosswise again. And of course you do the bezels. Oops. Move your strings out of your way so you're not dragging the strings across the finish. You know? Use my little stick. When you're using the stick, you don't want to bear down any pressure on it because otherwise you'll put micro scratches back into the finish. So you don't want to do that.
I hope I made enough cookies.
The Sunday Shift, every Sunday starting at noon, 11 Central on H&I.
And that's all you do. Put my stick back to the side and... Oh man, my back hurts. I'm really hot right now because I've been working. But it's 64.5 degrees in here, which I like. If I could get it down to 60 degrees in here, I would. Well, I could open up the window and turn the fan on, but I would only do that if I was like breaking sweat. I'm I'm almost breaking a sweat, but I'm not. Almost, but I'm not.
Relax your jaw.
I think it's still raining out. I hear the rain dropping. So it is still raining outside. Still raining. I like the rain. I like rain quite a bit. I mean, I wish my area was like Seattle or something, where it's, you know, raining 150, 160, 170 days a year, or however much it rains there. I think I heard that was the statistic, or something close to it. That was the statistic. Oh man, the finish on this is beautiful. One little spot I need to redo right here. Now you could take this piece off and polish it separately, but you'd have to take the strings off, and because the strings are through the body, you'd mess with the loop on the string, so you really don't want to do that. So I just loosen them, you know, like they are right now, and it works just as fine. You know. It works just as well. And then I'll stand up and look at the finish, and then I'll be able to see if I missed any spots. Because if you just stay seated, you're gonna miss something. You inevitably do. Oh man, that's beautiful. It's coming out nice. Oh, so I'll stand up now.
Have you been using the ointment I gave you? I tried. But the smell is a little strong.
Oh yeah. Guitar was pretty well taken care of. It's got some strum marks right here. You can tell where the person strummed it. He didn't strum it in the middle or down here. He strummed it pretty high. He strummed it over the first pickup like this. Because the strum marks start here and end here. And I can keep polishing on that and lighten those up pretty well. I can't make them disappear, but I can definitely lighten them up. Definitely.
Any other symptoms? Just
There's a couple of spots I need to go over again a second time. I can see already.
seeing myself back at that.
And that's fine. Oh, there's another spot there I need to go over again. So, yeah. You typically won't get them all the first time. You'll have to go over it a second time in some cases. And you go clockwise, counterclockwise, and then up and down, and diagonal, and diagonal the other way. That way you get all the scratching when you do that. Tired right now, but I'm gonna pull through and finish this sucker because I want to finish it. I need to use my stick here because there's a crevice right here along the pickup. I need to get better. Okay. stick here. Move my stick. I still see another spot I need to get right here. Every once in a while you'll see a spot where you need to go over a second or a third time. And that's fine. It's just one of those things. So I really need to sit down. My back is really killing me. Oh, it's the weather too. The quick change in the weather, from being cold, from being hot to cold. So, I mean, just a few weeks ago, a month ago, it was near 90 degrees here. So it's like, you know, 85 degrees too, and 80 degrees, 85 degrees. So it's like, oh my goodness. Ah, come on now. Get my... Gotta do this pickup again. Yeah, I got some of the wax on the... Remember that wax I was telling you about? I got some of it on there. And once you get some of it on there, it can be really hard to get it off because you just, you know, it's wax. You end up, when you use a rag or whatever, you just end up moving it all around the pickup when you wipe your polish off or your wax off. But I'm getting it. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Oh yeah. Much better.
Until now, space heaters have been big and take up too much space. But Handy Heater's thermoceramic design reduces the size and gives you incredible heat. The adjustable thermostat gives you exact temperature control, and the 2-speed fan circulates air to keep you warm and cozy. Perfect for areas that have drafty windows.
Okay, I'll show it to you. Pretty good shine on that. And look at the frets and fretboard. Pretty nice. We're exactly 1 hour into this. I'm going to go until 1 a.m. It's now 12:11. I think I'll be able to finish. I got a couple more spots I need to finish here. Do over again.
Call now and get the compact, powerful Handy Heater for just $19.99. Oh wait, order now and we'll double your order free. Just pay separate processing and handling, and everyone in your family can stay warm and cozy with Handy Heater. Yes, you get 2 Handy Heaters and amazing value, all for just $19.99.
Oh. Oh, lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Lordy, lordy.
53 pounds.
Did she say gain weight?
I gained 53 pounds with CD.
Silly commercial. Did she say gain weight? It's like, yes, she said gained weight. Crying out loud. My back is killing me. My back is on fire. I don't want to quit, but I might have to quit early and finish this tomorrow. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. It's just one of those things.
Rush processing, a $6.99 value, absolutely free. That's right. Save over $25 when you call CD1weightgainer.com now. I'm closed. I have an appointment. We met at the deuterium station on Norellis.
later. You said you could sell us a formula to synthesize Trillium D? I hope you didn't bring us all this way for nothing. Captain Archer, I remember now.
Oh, mercy.
How are you? A little pressed for time. Trillium A is extremely common.
We're right back. Get a fresh root beer. And I'll be right back.
Difficult to process and expensive. I'm confident we can agree on a fair price. I was thinking about things, Captain. You're very eager to learn about Zindi, as I recall. What is your interest in them? We're on a diplomatic mission. A diplomatic mission. Some Zindi arrived here last week. I thought you might be interested. Where can we find them? They have business with another merchant. I'd be happy to direct you for a small fee. Mr. Tucker has the list of supplies we'd be willing to part. As a gesture of good faith, why don't you tell me where we can find these merchants? And you and Mr. Tucker can work out the details.
Yeah, my brother made some his famous enchiladas. We call them Jeffaladas because his name is Jeff. So he made his famous Jeffaladas, chicken. Just, oh my God, they were phenomenal. I had like, let's see, I had 2 of them. And then we make our own refried beans from scratch and rice from scratch and other things from scratch. And a side of jalapenos, and man, it was just, whoa, it was phenomenal. It was so good. I grubbed down. I didn't have lunch, and I had just a tiny breakfast, so I was just like, brah, I gobbled it down. It was really good. Okay, now we're gonna do the headstock, top of the headstock, and I'll move the camera so you can see. There we go. And yeah, just polish it like this. Now that the strings are loose, I can get in between. Just take the nut aside, the nut's off. And if you take the string off and put it on the other side, and then the other side, and then the other side like this, you can hold them back. And then you can polish between each tuner and whatnot. You really want to do that. The tops of the tuners, I get everything. I don't leave anything to the imagination of not doing it. Just go like this, and then you get the other side.
Understood. We'll meet you back in the shuttle pod.
Get the other side like that, and in between. And then I do the edge of the headstock like this. I need to put a little more polish on there. Oops. Probably too much, but that's alright. The sides, the headstock, and then I do the tops of the tuners, the first side of the top. And then when I flip the guitar over to do the other side of the headstock, then I'll do the other side of the tuners.
Looks like she doesn't want to go.
It works out pretty good. Really getting tired losing steam, but I'm going to pull through on this. There is a possibility I might continue this tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see how time goes and if I have any issues with it. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with putting a setup on it. Putting a setup on these goes really, really fast. I mean, it goes really fast. Because you know you don't have a floating tremolo, and it works out pretty well. So we'll see. We'll see what it does to me. Oh yeah, headstock's coming out nice, and you want to pick the strings up. Otherwise, you're gonna take the string with you like this, and you're gonna put scratch marks because you're dragging the string along with you. And you don't want to drag the string along with you, so you take the first three and you just kind of pick them up. You know?
Very grateful for what you've done, Captain. I'll serve you well, I promise.
Let's get something straight. We don't believe one person can own another person. You're free to go wherever you'd like.
Oh yeah, it's looking pretty nice. The headstock is a little scratched.
I don't know.
Why I don't know. It just is.
I don't remember
You know, it's pretty hard for a headstock to get scratched, but every once in a while I get a guitar that the headstock is scratched. And it's like, well, unless it got scratched taking in and out of a case or in and out of a gig bag or something, you know, that's possible.
Captain,
You know.
thank you.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Boy, I am dog tired. I'm dog ass tired. I can see one spot, two spots I need to redo. And don't forget to pick the strings up when you're doing this. I almost forgot. My own rule.
I really admire you.
You're always good enough. You're the only one that ever got it. Second act, rated PG-13.
I know it's hard, Maddie. But I promise it's gonna get better.
Yeah, my back is on fire right now. It is on fire. These up. Don't forget to pick them up.
There's a noise out there, so you turn on the light.
There's a little spot right there I need to redo.
Your house is always so dark at night. Introducing the Nighthawk
There we go.
security light with motion sensor technology and ultra-bright LED bulbs. One Nighthawk light can illuminate
I
your entire house. And compared to this
am really hurting. My back hurts really bad right now.
amazing. The secret is in ultra-bright LED bulbs.
Part of that's due to the weather change. The cold weather acts it, and then when it gets really hot, my back reacts to that too. So it's one of those things, you know.
Turn-ons with just one set of batteries. The 450 lumen LEDs cover up to 675 square feet.
Might have to even use my tens unit tonight. I have several in the tens units, but the tens unit I might use tonight.
Keeps it off during the day. It's a great way to see who's knocking at the door. Or when you're away, keep your home more secure. Use it on your deck for more light out there or up in a car.
Looks pretty good. It's not bad for almost 9 years old. So we'll go ahead and polish the truss rod cover. I'll show you the truss rod cover. MLX is the model number. They do make an ML, but this is the MLX. The ML, the standard ML is not as fancy. It's usually just painted or stained, and that's it. And then it doesn't have the abalone inlays. It's usually a little less fancy. Ooh, nice and pretty. You can see the difference between a before and after polish.
Uphold the law.
Still have to sleep. Don't have my breakfast yet.
Where's the shine on that now?
Weekday morning starting at 5 a.m. 4 Central.
Pretty good, huh?
This is important.
Now we'll go ahead and put this back.
Weed killer Roundup in commercial settings and later developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. According to the World Health Organization's research on cancer, the active ingredient in the weed killer Roundup, glyphosate, can cause cancers such as
Put the other
non-Hodgkin's
screws
lymphoma.
in.
If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup in a commercial setting such as farming, landscaping, or golf course maintenance, and then developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you could be eligible.
You don't need to go real tight on these screws for the truss rod. Just, you know, hand
hand
tight.
That's
all you need to do.
Call the law offices of Davis and Crump right now to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Got an idea for an invention? Don't know what to do next? Call my friends at InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years.
Okay, so we got the truss rod cover back on. The my back is really hurting right now. We got the yeah, we got the truss rod cover back on. We got the front side of the headstock cleaned, polished, and we're just gonna keep going until I feel like I can't go anymore physically. My back is really hurting pretty badly right now, but I'm gonna keep going until midnight, until 1 a.m.
Call today for free information. 1-800-712-8771. That's 1-800-712-8771.
On our planet,
So we'll polish the adjuster, thumb adjuster bolts for the bridge. Those don't take much or long to polish. And
What's this one called? Black pepper. That's paprika, mustard seed, and parts of the cayenne myself.
I always adjust these all the way down
I believe you have something for
before, and then I bring it up to adjustment. It's just something I do. I could set it to factory setting now, but since it's very loose, you know, they don't tighten as you're turning. The turns are loose, as you saw. So even if I tried to adjust it now to factory, you know, when I move the guitar, it's going to move a little bit on the adjustment. So I just adjust it all the way down, just to start with.
in its liquid form, Tritium D is extremely unstable.
I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So you see how loose? So if I go ahead and adjust it to, say, a factory setting right now, and I'm moving the guitar and I'm flipping it over, it's going to move a little bit like this. So the adjustment's going to be not good. So I just set it down to its stop. And then when I get the bridge on it, then I will adjust it accordingly. And here's the bridge. It's just a typical bridge. It's a sung, yeah, it's a sung ill, S-U-N-G, and then space I-L, model number B002 Korea. It's just kind of your standard bridge. So it's pretty cool bridge. I like them. I'm familiar with these.
We're trying to make contact with a species called Cindy. I don't suppose you know anything about it.
So we'll just polish this bad boy up.
The two I saw looked reptilian and they weren't very pleasant. At the time, I was
And
just
these
really
polish up pretty
interested in-
quick if they're not, you know, really tarnished or rusty. Then I would have to go ahead and take the bridge apart, to unscrew the screws and take out the saddles, and then polish the saddles individually, and then polish the screws individually, and then polish the bridge separately. But since the bridge is in pretty good condition, I don't need to do that.
Enough to do some serious damage if we screw this up.
And we're supposed to
So yeah.
It's only volatile in its liquid form. Once we apply it to the inner hull and it sets, it's completely safe. The tricky part's cooking it up in the first place.
It'll require extremely precise
And it's pretty much like an older Gibson one that has the little guide wire. You know, it's got this little safety wire that puts tension down on the screws, so that way because otherwise they're almost free floating, even though they're screw in. So you have to have this this wire that puts down pressure on it, and it keeps them, you know, fairly tight. So that helps. So I think whoever buys this guitar from me, they're going to be pretty happy with this.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
Um,
I hoped you might have
yeah.
time to talk.
My back is really hurting right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 7. But I'm going to keep working because the work takes my mind off of it. So. And it's really hurting today because, one, I had a 14-hour day. By the time I'm done with this guitar, I'm going to be in 14 hours of work, plus 2 hours of play, and then plus the cold weather today. It only got up to 55 degrees today.
Very young. I don't remember much
And
about it.
tonight's low, I think, is 42 or 3. So, and it's raining. So it's like, okay, I'm getting all 3 of the things that my body doesn't like, my back doesn't like.
I want to repay you for your kindness.
That isn't necessary.
I know.
Bringing you.
There's a reason I was taken from my home. I have certain gifts. Would you like me to show you?
Whoa, she's getting ornery.
Really isn't something
She's like, I have certain gifts. It's like, okay. Next thing I'm going to bring, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I told you guys about this probably a year and a half ago, but I want to bring a mini compressor in here. Not a big one, not a big floor one, but just a little tiny mini compressor, just so I have, you know, air in here to run an air tool, or to blow out a pickup, or blow out a chamber. That'll help me. Just a little one, like I can get at Harbor Freight for, you know, $50, $75, whatever. You know, under $100, $120, whatever. But a little mini compressor. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, nothing big. Just a mini compressor. And I'm sure you know what I mean by a mini compressor. Okay, this is pretty well clean. Take one little spot here and kind of get in with my little stick here. And that's it. Flip it over and do those.
No effect.
Oh, my back is killing me. Okay. Okay, there's one little spot here I need to repolish. So I will do that. In order to do that, I gotta lift the strings up and just get under here. One little spot. Oh yeah, that's better. Much better.
Slightly off.
Okay, and then we'll pick the bridge up with my rag so I don't get fingerprints on it. And there we go. Look at that. I need to take a little break here for a second because my back is killing me. Oh, mercy. Oh. But this guitar is coming out really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. No issues so far.
Can I help you?
I can't believe I forgot about this guitar. I've had it for like 2.5 years and I plumb forgot I even had it. It happens. Not very often. Not very often, but it does happen to me.
I just happened to be going that way. What's your job here? I'm the ship's communications officer. I see. I have to hear your language.
Check my Twitter feed and see if anybody's got any questions or comments or concerns or criticism.
Must be quite a few.
And it looks like that's a no. We're doing pretty good tonight.
You must be to Paul.
For every gray cloud, there's a silver lining.
That's amazing.
And for every grumpy doctor,
Optimize my memory, so I'll do that. And the battery power is good. At 58 minutes, 58%. Pretty good. Alright, we're doing good. Excuse me. So yeah, I like this guitar. It's a pretty cool piece. I love these DMLs. That's why I have so many of them. I think at last count I have 17 of these. Not of this exact color combination. Some I have with dual humbuckers, some I have with humbucker and single pickup, some I have with single pickup, some are black, some I have in metal flake, some I have in pearl, some I have in natural stained wood finish. So yeah, I really like these, and they're inexpensive, and you can pick them up fairly cheap. So yeah, and they're pretty cool. I like them. They're really neat.
You don't have to be a computer genius to use a TAC camera. With just a few clicks, you can view, download, and save your videos for later.
I'm gonna take a little quick bathroom break, and I'll be right back.
And links to clothing no matter what you do. Never miss another magic moment. Stop being a victim of everyday injustice. Get yourself a TAC camera from Bell & Howell. TAC camera, the body cam for the rest of us. There's just nothing like it on the market today.
State-of-the-art body cams can cost hundreds of dollars, but you won't pay that much for a TAC camera. In fact, act now and it could be yours for just 2 payments of $19.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. But wait, order now and we'll upgrade you to our night vision TAC camera with 6 built-in infrared LEDs for HD recording at night. Yours absolutely free. And there's more. Call or click today and you can double your order. Just pay a separate fee. You get it all. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-936-2993 or go to trytacam.com. That number again is 1-800-936-2993 or visit trytacam.com. Call now.
Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At Touch of Modern, watches don't just tell time, they change the way you spend it. Bags are thoughtfully designed to never slow you down, and gear won't get in the way. And coffee tables are also refrigerators, keeping you at the center of the party. All it takes is a touch. touchofmodern.com.
This is H&I. That can't possibly be as poignant as it sounded. Your home for captivating, action-packed dramas. Fascinating. Say hi to H&I.
I didn't mean to startle you. My name's Rajin.
I know who you are. What are you doing here?
Your door was unlocked.
That's not likely.
I was hoping we'd have a chance to talk.
Perhaps you are unfamiliar with our protocols, but it is unacceptable for you to be in my quarters uninvited.
I didn't think you'd mind.
I'm
You're a
afraid...
Vulcan. On a ship filled with humans. Why?
Vulcans and humans are allies.
Very good.
Now please leave. What are you doing?
Don't resist.
All right.
I need you to leave.
My brother is putting up Christmas ornaments. Special kind of ornaments, the Radco ornaments from Kmart. Not putting them on a tree, but putting them just above our dining room, where he made a little long wood, kind of like a trellis, and you can line them up. And we got about 60, 70 of those ornaments. And we got one for our mom and one for our dad. Recently passed away, and one says mom and one says dad on it, and yeah, pretty cool. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Whoops, I see a spot where I missed, or did I? Nope, that was a shadow. Okay, I'll pick this sucker up, and that's kind of an odd thing to grab, so you kind of have to grab it kind of cattywampus. Okay, so all right. Ooh, I need to set the my pad back more. Put some down pressure on it, because I was moving the guitar around. There's so much surface space on these. It's just like, oh my god, there's so much surface space, you know? It's like, wow, like I was saying, the distance from here to here is just amazing on these. I mean, you have a lot of surface space on them, almost like a flying V. I think they're even longer than a flying V when it comes to that space. Ooh, some of the ferrules aren't level. I need to pound them down. This one's high, this one's high, this one's high. Yeah, so I need to pound those ferrules down. That's easy enough to do. I'll do that. We'll polish this once, and we'll see if I need to go over any secondary spots. I may. We'll see. And it's got no buckle rash. There's no buckle rash on this anywhere. So I'm pretty happy with that aspect. A little spittle or something right here. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm grunting and groaning. It's just my back is really hurting right now. It's hurting pretty badly, actually. You guys never see me complain about it too much, but every once in a while I'll complain about it. Oh man. Oh boy.
She suffered disruptions throughout the neocortex. If she were human or to know better, she'd probably be dead.
Oh man, that back neck plate is really nice. And it's got 0 belt buckle rash. So, except for the frets and fretboard, the guy really took good care of it who had it before my friend had it, who I bought it from. They took real good care of it. Oh, now I need to sit down. Now I'll do these ferrules. I'll pound those ferrules down. I have this little hammer, special hammer that I bought at Harbor Freight.
I told you.
You see the head on it has a brass head,
Kidnapped when you were a child.
and then on the other end it has a nylon head. I'm not going to use a brass head because that'll put marks in it, so I'll use the nylon head. Now I can do it one of two ways. I can just do it freehand like this, or I can put the rag over it and then feel it. And then it won't put any marks in the body. And then if it's not enough oomph to push the ferrule down flat, then I'll use the brass end. There we go. Now we're making some headroom. There we go. You want to get it straight on. You don't want to go off to the side or something, then you'll be putting dents in the body. So you have to be pretty astute at knowing where the ferrule is. That's why I use my finger, and then when I feel it on my finger, I'll move it away, and then I'll know right where it is. See, like that. And then you don't pound at an angle like this. You pound straight like this. Because if you pound at an angle, then you'll put dents in the body. Now you look at it, I've been pounding on it pretty good, there's 0 dents. And now all the ferrules are flat. So now I'll stand up and I'll see if I need to do any spots over again. And you know, you stand up and you go like this with the light I have on my ceiling. I can move like this, and I can see, you know, any spots I need to do again. Like there's one here and there's one here. And I mean, the body on this is pretty well perfect. I mean, there's no scratches, there's no dings, there's no dents, there's nothing. So, except for the fretboard and the frets, the guy who owned this before my friend took pretty good care of it. So I'm pretty happy about that aspect of it. So I got about 10 more minutes to finish this. I don't think I'm going to finish it tonight because I still have to put a setup on it and I don't want to be rushed. So I'll probably just finish polishing it and then we'll finish this tomorrow in a part 2. I thought I was going to finish this, but I'm not. And yeah, I mean, the finishing of it, part 2, is probably only going to be about 20 minutes. I might stretch it out to a half hour. And then we'll finish this sucker. And we'll finish it tomorrow. Can't get everything done. I put in a 14-hour day today, so it's like there's only so many hours in a day. Even if you get up at 5 or 6 a.m., there's only so many hours in a day. You can only do so much. And since the body is a strange shape, I can now do the inside of the bend here, and then do the bottom of the curve of the corner here. Now I'll use another rag to hold it, and then I can polish that. And then I can use the rags to grab it and flip it over very carefully. Because it's an odd shape, you really want to be careful with your arms and your hands, so you don't, lose grip on it, So we have a really long leading edge right here. Really, really long. This is a pretty cool guitar. And these guitars aren't expensive, new. They're only they're under $400 new, brand new. But they're still pretty cool. I like them. They're pretty neat. You can't go too wrong with a Dean ML or MLX. You just can't. Finish this, and then my movie tonight's gonna be the next. I've been watching the Twilight movies, so Breaking Dawn Part 2 is tonight. So yeah, I wish they'd make another Twilight movie. I like the Twilight movie. But I guess the woman, it's a woman, I forget her name, that wrote the books for Twilight, she hasn't written another book. So people say, well, if there's not a next book, then there's no another movie. So it's like, okay, well. Yeah, this is looking pretty nice. This edge here is absolutely perfect. Not a scratch, not a ding, not a dent, not a nothing. And this is the bottom edge, so when you're playing it, that side is down. So there's one little spot I can do over again right here. It's not bad. It's just, I think it's a factory blem. It's right here, and it's not bad. You can barely see it. If I didn't tell you it was there, you wouldn't see it. Oh, and now it's gone. Okay, so pick the guitar up very carefully. Watch your arms and your hands. And then I can do this crevice right here. This crevice right here. Oh, my hand's in the way. This crevice right here. And I can just do it by simply doing this. I'll show you, I'm sorry. This guitar is so big, it's hard to get an angle on it. And then we'll do the other crevice right here. The reason you see me blow on it sometimes is blowing on it will dry the polish and the wax a little faster. That's all. So now I grab it. I'm being very careful. Now I have to move my polish rag because it's in the way. And then very gently set it down, and then I can do the back of my neck. I think this is going to be my stopping point, and then tomorrow I'll do the back of the neck, the back of the headstocks, and the tuners, and then put the setup on it. And that'll be tomorrow's part 2 on this guitar. I thought I could finish this, so I could probably technically finish this, but I'm really tired. So I'm going to close this video out in about 6 more minutes. Whew. And we'll finish this tomorrow, and then see what second guitar I can do tomorrow, because this will only take about a half hour, 20 minutes to finish. And then I'll choose a second guitar to do tomorrow night. Maybe that brand new Epiphone limited edition custom shop Les Paul that I have sitting over here is brand new in the box. Maybe I'll finish that tomorrow. Or finish it. I need to start it. I haven't even. It's brand new in the box. I mean, literally brand new in the box. Going an hour and 44 minutes. Yeah, we'll finish this up and tomorrow. And some cool guitar. I love these Dean MXL. And there's 2 versions of these guitars, like I mentioned. There's the Dean ML and then there's the Dean MLX. This is the Dean MLX. So they're pretty cool. They're relatively cheap unless you get like a custom shop one, and then you'll pay, you know, $600, $700, $800, $900, $1,000 for one. But those are few and far between. And contrary to popular belief, there is a Dean custom shop, and you can pay a very pretty penny for a Dean custom shop guitar. They're pretty cool. They're pretty neat. Oh. This guitar is coming out pretty nice. Yeah. I'm really happy with the way this is coming out. I mean, really happy. It's got no broken parts, no missing parts, nothing scratched, nothing dented, nothing dinged. I'm gonna maybe put this up for sale. I'll put it up for sale at like a full pot price. Probably like $250 to $280. Because you don't see this Carina wood Sunburst too often. I won't say it's rare, but they're mildly uncommon. So this is a pretty cool guitar. Pretty cool. The body's in 3 pieces. It has a centerpiece, so you might be able to. This camera might be able to pick up the line. So you have a piece that starts here. It's that side, and then you have a piece here that's kind of offset from the middle, and then you have another piece here. I don't know why they made it that way. They should have had this over a little bit more and in the middle, but they didn't. It's pretty wood. It's all the same wood. It's not book matched. I wish it was book matched, but it isn't. So we will close out this video, and we'll continue this in part 2 tomorrow. So again, this is the 2010 Dean MLX from 2010. So we'll continue this tomorrow in part 2. And thank you very much for joining me on Classic Guitar.